thought a lot of really good things happened in 2017. I think, reflecting on it, we went all the way to the last weekend of the regular season with a chance to be in the mix to win the championship. We achieved the #3 seed in the CAA tournament. From a development standpoint, we had 4 guys get a chance to move on to professional baseball. 2 guys drafted, inside of the top 5 rounds. From an academic standpoint, we won the CAA's, Academic Team of the Year award for baseball. So, a lot of good things happened. Unfortunately, we didn't play quite as well in the conference tournament as we would have hoped. But I think, that's something that at the end of the year, we're looking to get back to that position and kind of get back in the mix to play for a championship. Really interesting group in our pitching staff this season. I think we have a lot of talented guys, a lot of guys that could factor into the mix, and some of them are guys that our fans may not have heard of before. Whether it's new guys or guys returning from injury or guys hoping to make a big leap from past performances. But as far as returning guys, in our rotation, we have Bodie Sheehan back for his 3rd year. He's got a lot of experience for us. In our bullpen, we have Charlie Fletcher and Robert White back, who have both pitched significant innings for us. We have a handful of other upperclassmen that do have some game experience. But, what I'm most excited about is seeing who will take those next steps and, kind of how we get better as the season progresses and how we find the right roles to maximize all of these guys' strengths. On the positional side, we return a good handful of guys. We have some guys that have been through it, that have been key contributors for us in the past. We have 2 catchers back with significant game experience in Hunter Smith and Matt Treehub. In the outfield, we have 3 guys back that were regulars for last year's team. Ryan Hall, who's a senior for us now, who's had a terrific career. Brandon Riquet, who had a really nice freshman year. Owen Socker, who gave us a big lift kind of down the back half of last season. Heading into the infield mix, we had Patrick Ryan, who had a nice freshman year for us. We got Zach Pearson, who has a lot of game experience over his first couple of years, and we have a lot of guys that could really supplement that group. Guys that some first year guys that could get in the mix right away. Some guys that have improved a lot. At a bunch of different positions from last year to this year, and it'll be a group that does have some experience to lead the way with some new faces that can hopefully supplement what we do on the positional side. This year's group of new players, we have a good handful of freshmen, and we also have a couple transfers joining us. So on the freshman group is pretty heavily skewed towards the pitching side. We get some guys there that should be able to make an impact right away. On the positional group, we've got a couple of young infielders that I think could really help us. We also have a couple transfers. We have a transfer first baseman in Colin Lipke, who has potential to be a good bat for us. We have a graduate transfer in Andrew Bernick, who's a veteran pitcher that can complement our staff very well. I'm hopeful this team can continue to play great defense. I think we do have good defenders all over the field. I think from a pitching standpoint, I think we can give you a lot of different looks. I think we have some guys who can pitch and throw a lot of strikes and are going to be able to keep us in games. We have some really good arms that we can use at various points throughout our bullpen. Offensively, I think we have a chance to be a really competitive lineup. We may not have quite as many of the marquee names as we may have had in the past, but I think we have some guys that can really grind out at bats, and we have some guys that are pretty proven hitters. So we're excited about the whole group. We're going to need to have some toughness. We're going to need to do a lot of things well. We're going to need to kind of worry about the right things. But I think if we can do that, we certainly have enough pieces to be a really competitive ball club. It's very competitive. I don't think there's one game on there that we'll be able to show up and play poorly and expect to win. So I think we'll certainly be challenged, which hopefully helps prepare us for the conference season. We'll play in some great venues. We'll play some quality teams. We have a good number of home dates here, which hopefully will allow us to get comfortable playing at home and kind of get in some rhythm through the middle of the season. But opening up at Clemson will be a great test for a weekend series there. We have a weekend series later in the season with North Carolina State. and certainly a competitive CAA slate, kind of at the tail end of the season. So we'll need to play well, but that's what we expect around here. That's the type of schedule our guys want to play. It's an interesting year in the conference. This is the time of year you start to see a lot of the preseason publications come out and all that, and I think there's a lot of variety in who people expect to be at the top, and I think that leads itself to what I think will be a pretty competitive year. I think Northeastern won last year's regular season, so obviously they'll be in the mix. Delaware won last year's tournament, so certainly I'm sure they expect to be in the mix. You got teams like Wilmington and Charleston and Elon and all the guys that year in and year out are very much factors in the conference race. So we're excited. I think the best part about baseball is everybody plays each other 3 times, and by the end of the season you do have a pretty good idea of where everybody stacks up. But we certainly expect it to be once again very competitive. I think the thing that I'm most excited to see on this team is kind of who we become. Both individually, we're going to need some guys that advance their game and take on bigger roles. Whether it's guys that have been good players that now need to step forward and become kind of cornerstone guys for us, or guys that have been waiting to get into the mix, whether it's due to injury or due to opportunity, whatever it may be, kind of seizing some roles and stepping forward, or new guys coming right in and kind of jumping right into the mix and kind of really helping us out right from day one. Then from a team standpoint, we're gonna need to get better as we go. It's a 15-week season, and I'm hopeful that we can use the whole body of the season to be playing our best baseball at the end, and I think that it's a good challenge for us. I think that the guys are excited to go, and I'm excited to see what type of team we can be.
Drive on 3, 1, 2, 3, drive!